I usually deal with my own problems. Like I don't ever really have problems. I'm not the kind of guy that would have problems. But sometimes, very rarely, I don't think I'm gonna have any more with like that kind of shit. Excuse me. But yeah, I couldn't go to my friends and that shit, and I couldn't go to anyone. I couldn't go to my dad, my mom, my brother, none of my uncles. Fuck that. So I just dealt with it on my own, cause who the fuck else? Who else is gonna deal with my problem, right? So I just did, and I'm fine. Worked out great. So that's kind of the pain. That's the way it's expected to be, because you always see like how the guy has to sacrifice himself or his life or for like the girl or whatever, and it hit me more, even more when I saw like just a lot of little things that kind of pretty much like it seems obvious now. I don't know why the fuck I didn't see it before, but it was pretty much like that the all men are disposable and every woman is not. It's that kind of thing. Uh, I think I'm trying to remember a band's name. I think it's the Dotsons that have this song. In one of their songs, I think it's called Cherry Lane. I might have to double check it later. In there, one of the lyrics says that a boy is a boy, but a girl is a charm that mustn't be broken, that mustn't be harmed. And that stuck with me because that's just something else that helped me see kind of like what goes on with the world and the people. So I would say that's very much true. That's like, yeah, straight up. um, but I don't understand why. Because, like, why? I don't know. Like, they're people, right? We're people. Basically, what I'm getting to with all this complaining and shit, I don't mean to be complaining. I'm just telling a story, and that's the way it was. Sorry if it sounded like I'm complaining about shit. Uh, that's that. What am I trying to say? That relates to the story. Like after I knew about it, I planted that in the story because, like I said before, I ain't an emotional guy. But when I do have like an emotional moment, I guess it's not. I know I'm doing random shit now. Hang on. It's not that I. Alright, I worded shit weird. Basically, I'm not an emotional guy because I don't show my emotions. I still have them, alright? But I don't show them because, like, that was the whole story I told you before. I couldn't, because what was the point with my dad? No one was gonna help, so what was the point, right? So I just didn't ever, and I got accustomed to it. So whenever I have an emotional moment, it's not me having the moment. It's I put my emotions on something or an event, an experience, or a song or something, and it stays there. And that's it. That's as far as it goes. Oh, excuse me. Um, and in the story, this is that thing where I put my emotions. Alright, I think I have it. Basically, what everything goes into is back to the backcountry, the pain of being a man, where you can't bitch, you can't complain, you're supposed to take it, and you're supposed to just be fine with taking it. You know, it's that thing. And that's what the main character in the story does. He just handles all the shit, and he can't complain to the girl because she's fine with it. and he will seem like less of a man or whatever. So he just doesn't ever, and it bothers him. But who gives a fuck, right? So that's kind of where the story was headed after events in my life. So I'm like trying to make a randomized pattern here, and I like this kind of, but I don't know. There's not much else I could do with this kind of thing. It's supposed to look like metal. Like this looks very metallic. I like that, but I also want to use the sand in this, and these don't go. This is very different looking from these. That's the thing, but it's alright. At least for now. I just grabbed everything that was over and just started slapping it on, basically. And the iron, there's too much iron. For sure. There's not that much good metal. No. I think I'll get rid of that block. What is it? What? Andesite? I don't think I want it anymore. Get it out of here. It's too gray. But yeah, that's basically kind of this one too. That right? That's basically kind of where the story is headed. That kind of direction. The whole "what is a man" argument, basically. I remember the quote. Oh, is it from what's that game called? Castlevania, where they say "what is a man." Anyway, that's just it's going around. Yeah, because that's kind of sort of what this whole series questions. Like at first it was like a story of how Mars fell apart, but it turned into something completely different while still having that in it. So that's kind of a tip for story writers, but expect unexpected shit to help you out, basically. Like I didn't know that kind of my experiences would help me write a story, but it is. And like of course I'm gonna say my story's good, but yeah, I think it really helped, despite it being really a negative thing. But I need water, my throat's dry, so if I sound like shit, that's why. Yeah. Alright, that looks meh for now. I'm really just trying to fill in space. I've been holding on to these blocks forever. Just want to place them down. I have to cover this whole hill with this. That's the thing. That's a lot, man. I need more red sand. I have it. I just don't know where. Anyway, let's get rid of the dark shit out of here. Don't want that anymore. Back to normal old Chibi, I guess. Actually, no. One more dark thing. Sorry. This is gonna sound like stupid as fuck to some people. I kind of believe like everyone has their own kind of like aura around them. Aura, however you want to say it. And what I mean by that is that, like when you're in a room with someone, you just get like a feeling from them even without even talking to them or looking at them really. And that's kind of their aura. Some are more noticeable, some are not, some are more just like whatever. And I kind of want to give the main character of this story, Fool's Gold, I want him like a very serious aura that would hit, like it would hit the reader like hard, right? They can obviously tell something's up even just by looking at the guy without even reading the story. But everyone in the story would be completely ignorant to it. They would just not know what's going on at all. And what's going on in the kid, the main character, is all the things I was talking about, like what is a man? Well, am I it? or how can I be it? Because it's partially a love story with the main character and his partner, scrapper partner, but it's more just to get people thinking, really, and it's pretty much a reason for me to bitch about how men are kind of sort of expected to be this waste. Which is weird, because men are supposed to be like the sacrificial lamb for women, but the world is ruled by men. And now obviously it's changing a lot more where women have higher up positions, and like I have nothing against that or anything. That's fine with me. But it does bother me a bit when that's it just bothers me the way people think about men and women in that sense, because they're like, oh, men and women should be equal, but it's clearly that no one really wants men and women to be equal, if you ask me. Like, I always hear how fuck, sorry people, I have a lot of thoughts in my head and I'm trying to pick one. It always kind of confused me how everyone wants it to be like no big deal, men and women equals, and I'm okay with that, sure. But it bothers me when someone makes a big deal of it. Like, if you want it to be, then just let it be. Don't fucking start a parade for it. Like, I saw a commercial, I think it was, about how a woman is working a man's job. Basically, there's a woman working construction, and it's like, do you really need a commercial for that? Like, what the fuck? Can't you just work the job and just be done? I'm trying to get this horse out of here. Oh yeah, by the way, I should probably tell you. Sorry you have to hear that. I moved. I'm now here. In the game, not in real life. I am now in this place. Closer to the giant Disney place. I moved out of spawn mostly to get closer to this thing. This huge project. Excuse me, I'm like burping all over the place. To get closer to the big project, and also because for some reason on my side of the town it was like really laggy inside my house, and there's nothing that would cause lag. That like there's not a lot of redstone or anything that would cause it. It's just like a normal build. The thing I think caused lag is that like right underneath my old house, the speakeasy, there was a ravine. So I'm assuming there's a whole bunch of mobs and stuff are spawning under there, and that's what's causing lag. But we don't really know. So anyway, just to get rid of that, I want it out. The speakeasy is still there. It's not gonna be taken down, because what I wanted it to be originally is I wanted it to be like my house primarily, but I also wanted it for like to be a place that people can gather around in. But there is no real point to the speakeasy. Like, you don't do anything in there. You just kind of sit there and hang out. So what I want it to be now, because it's not my house anymore, I want it to be, this is my little food farm, by the way. Start out small, right? What I want it to be is that, just like for gathering reasons, like before when we had the 12 wither fights there, or like when we killed the dragon, I couldn't record because of reasons in there, but when we killed the dragon. But those events where like multiple people are recording or going to do some kind of events together, I want them to start out at the speakeasy, because that's just like, I want it to be like a meeting hall kind of, but like a more laid back, like it's not like town hall or anything. It's just a place. It's a bar, you know. Sit down, have a drink, have some fun, and go out, do what you have to do. And that's kind of what I want it to be now. But It's whatever they want it to be, I guess. So with this place, there's no real plan to it. I was mapping out the area. I don't have the map on me. I don't. I was mapping out the area and I ran through here. And I think Untalisk lives actually kind of close. Not really close, but he's in that direction. What is this, north? Yeah, he lives way back there. But yeah, I wanted to be, or I was mapping out the place, and I don't know, I just found this like hole in the wall. Like this was natural. I didn't dig this out. This is the way it was. I just dug out the cobble and replaced it with grass, and this is the way this place was, you know. I'm gonna hit a horse in it. Nope. That's the way it was. Just that huge opening. I'm like, oh hey. So I marked down the coordinates for it. Took a picture and went about with my mapping. And yeah, eventually I just decided to make this my house. Ooh, it's a very nice one. The biggest problem and why I didn't make a video in a long time is moving all my shit. It's all here now, but holy fuck, it'd take a long time to get reorganized and everything. Cause that's actually a very far walk. And I could have actually made it shorter, cause you have to get, or the fastest way is to go through the nether, or yeah, in the nether, into the end, and then jump in the end portal, cause this is my spawn now. So I would just, if I go in the end portal, I'll just pop up right here. But I didn't think of that originally, so I had to actually run all the way. It wasn't until the very last few chests that I decided to thought of doing that. And I don't know, I don't really have a plan for this, but I don't want it to be like Ethos Cave. I don't want it, because this is what that's pretty much what's going on right now. Originally I want what's that stuff called? I want the grass from the Mushroom Island, the purple stuff. I forget what it's called. I want that, but we haven't found it yet. So for now, grass is a placeholder. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. I just started kind of building around and screwing around. And I made this thing. That ain't gonna make it. No. I built this thing. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. But yeah. This just leads to the cave. That's the ladder you saw in there. And this is go straight up. I don't know why I keep pushing tab. I gotta teach myself to not do that. So you got windows, you get a nice view of everything. Nope. I actually haven't moved little Romeo over here. I should probably do that soon. Anyway. So yeah, if you haven't seen my videos much, you should know that I like pirates. And I like anime, right? That's kind of why I write stories, because it's anime. And manga, which is just anime is Japanese cartoon. Manga is a Japanese comic book. That's a story for another time though, I guess. Basically, there's an anime and manga called One Piece, and in there it's all about pirates. And anyway, this is what I thought of when I was thinking when building this whole tower. Is like the lookout tower in a pirate ship or a galleon, which is a giant ship. You know, like this could be like the mast, and then this be the lookout tower. But I kind of just wanted to do that. But then I looked at it and I was like, I could go taller. So I did. I built this part. At first it was just this, and I built that. And then I remembered one of my favorite TV shows, like American TV shows, as a kid, Kids Next Door. If you're around my age, you should know what that is. If you don't, somehow, maybe you're too old or you're too young. Basically, it was kind of like the Justice League, like the creator of the show. I think his name's Tom Burton. I could totally be screwing up one of my favorite shows right now. I'm not gonna look it up. Anyway, I know his last name is Burton. I can't. Pretty sure it's Tom. Anyway, he said he was inspired by the Justice League because it's like this worldwide or nationwide group of heroes that help each other. Get this brother out of here. that help each other out, right? And the kids next door is basically that, but as children. You don't have superpowers though, they just kind of builds crappy weapons that work. And they're battling adult tyranny. Basically just any adult that hates kids or teenagers. And I don't know, it's just super silly, super fun show, and I loved it. Ooh. Creeps. I hope he's on. I want to sleep. Sleep. But yeah, that's basically why I brought up Kids Next Door. Is there every single base? My voice cracked a little. Every single one of their bases is basically a giant tree house. It's not like a. It's a backwoods tree house. It's not a tree and then a house. It's a house at the base, and it's a giant fucking tree coming out of the roof. It's just awesome. Basically, that's kind of what inspired me to do that also. Where at the bottom here, this is the house, and this is kind of the tree bursting out. Although this is a very small tree, and it's just gonna spread into random shit. Cause if you've seen that house or their base in Kids Next Door, holy shit, man! They have like a fucking tanker, like one of those transport ships in their base. It's like in the tree, and they have like. It's just a ridiculously huge. Maybe I can look one up. I don't know if I should though. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for it. You could look it up. Just KND treehouse. Look that up. Google Images. It's amazing, and that's kind of what I want. But I am on top of that hill, and I don't know what the height limit is. I'm pretty sure I have enough room to do what I want, but I don't. I really don't have a plan for it. I'm just gonna do. But anyway, I'm gonna. Is that? I don't know how long I've been recording for, or how much I have to cut. But I'm assuming it's long. So hang on. I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna say bye. No. I'm gonna stop. And if there's enough time, I will bring little Romeo over.